welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess. I am the owner, creator, mind behind Philodendreams, which is my Instagram and also now my YouTube channel. So last week was my first video and I posted how I propagated my cuttings, and today I'm going to do an update on those cuttings that I took. And for those of you who did not see that video, it is up on my channel. You can go check that out. It is super long, so I'm sorry about that. It was my first video, but all in all, I think it turned out okay. And I promise, well, I think I promise, it doesn't seem as long as it is. It kind of goes by fast. So in that video, I propagated three plants. I propagated a Philodendron Campos Portonum, a Burley Marks Fantasy, which is also a philodendron, and I propagated a Scindapsus triobii. And I have the cuttings from that video that I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how they're doing. It's 12 or 13 days later now at this point when I'm posting the video. And then I also have cuttings that I took the day before from a Syngonium erythrophyllum, elenocardii road, whatever you want to call it. So without further ado, let me just go ahead and get right into it, and I will show you that this method works. So I'm trying to be close, but not too close. Like, sorry, my head's cut off. But anyway, so the first plant I'm going to show you is the Campos Portonum, whatever. Took three cuttings from this plant. So the very first one I'm going to show you is the top cut, and the top cutting, I don't know if you remember, it just had one leaf, and then there was a little, kind of like a little point where you could see that another leaf was going to come. So I'm not going to take it out yet, but here is the top leaf, if it'll focus. There we go. So it is unfurled, and then here you can see that there is the new leaf that's in the cataphyll there is coming out, and it's going to be kind of hard for you to see this on camera, so I'm going to take it out, but there are roots that you can see, maybe not. You probably can't see them in there. I'm going to go ahead and take it out. One of the benefits of doing the sphagnum moss so loosely packed when I'm doing cuttings like this is that it's easier to take out the plant so that you can kind of see what's going on. Now, here is the leaf and here is the root system. So you can see that it's white there on the end. That's a good sign. Those white things sticking to it are perlite, and there's a little bit of sphagnum moss. But it is growing, it is doing well. And I did mention in that video that there is a chance that this leaf would come out deformed. So it looks a little crinkly. It's not horrible. So, I mean, but the colors are not as impressive now as they were. So it was pretty happy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that one back, and I will show you the next one. Okay, and here is cutting number 2. I don't remember if this is a bottom cut or a mid cut. Honestly, I cannot remember. So I'm just taking this very, very carefully out of the cup, and the moss kind of comes with it. And the reason why the moss comes with it is because there's roots in here. So pretty nice growth, I would say. Ooh, ooh, this one's doing really good. One moment, I shall show you her progress. Just got to be very careful when you're taking any particles off. And also, I don't recommend that you take your cuttings out. This is just for your viewing pleasure. If you take your cuttings out while they're growing, you do risk damaging the hairs that are on them, and they need those to try to make their way through their substrate and collect nutrients. Those little hairs help. So fuzzy roots are a good thing. So this is cutting number 2. Again, here's the leaf. Now this one did not have anything else on it. It was just this leaf, but you can see here that there is a new cataphyll that's forming, and then we also have some pretty decent roots for, you know, less than 2 weeks. And they're healthy, they're nice and firm, not breaking or anything like that. So that's cutting number 2. I'm going to put this one back and get cutting number 3. Okay, and then we have cutting number 3, and this one has really nice coloring on it, if you can see the red around the edges there. And then here on the abaxal side of the leaf, there's a lot more red coming through, so that's really super pretty. This one has a new leaf, actually right there. That's popping out. Let me just carefully take it out. So you can actually see those little dangly things right there. Those are roots. So this one's got a little bit more perlite stuck to it. I'm not going to mess with the perlite too much. I don't want to damage it. So here we are with cutting number 3. This one's actually, ooh, too much white. So lots of good roots there. And this one is, you know, obviously has a new leaf right there. That is starting to unfurl. So overall, the Campos did really well as far as this method. It always does, though. This is how I propagate them. So if you have a Campo and you want to kind of like chop it, but you're afraid, you know, just give it decent living conditions and it'll be fine. It's okay. If you're super scared, and just take off a little snip. Don't cut the whole plant to pieces. Don't chop it all. You know, just one little snip. So I'm gonna put this one back, and then I'm gonna go on to the. I'm going to do the Scindapsus cutting next because I only did one of those because I wasn't sure if this method would work. Cutting number 4 is a Scindapsus triobii Moonlight. So this is the biggest leaf here is what I started off with, and this one was kind of unfurling. It's still on its way doing that. And then the leaf here at the bottom has not done anything really. But it's still on there, it's not dead, so I'm just gonna lightly take this one out. This one was kind of in there, kind of janky anyway. It fell out, if you remember. Oh, there goes all my moss. So here's our cutting. So little tiny bit of root growth. It is healthy, it's white. That's a piece of sphagnum moss. Just leave that. Oh, actually, over on this side, there's a little yellow nubbin that you can see there. That is also root growth. So this one is slower, which is par for the course for a Scindapsus. I don't know if you've had one of these before, but they tend to grow on the slower side. If you want to propagate them, I don't know if there's a different method that maybe would get it to go faster. I might try another one in like perlite or something. So I'm going to put this one back, and then we will move on to the Burle Marx Fantasy. So I have the Burle Marx that I took last week on July 27th. Sorry, Burle Marx Fantasy. 2 completely different plants, by the way. So I have that one that I took July 27th, and then I also have one that I took June 23rd. A mid-cutting, and a mid-cutting, those tend to grow a little bit slower. So I'll have that to compare both of them. So let me go ahead and pull that one out. 1 second. Okay, this is plant number 3, cutting number 5, also done on July 27th. This is Burle Marx Fantasy, and this is a top cutting. So you can see those super pretty mosaic details in the leaf and that blue-green color. Now when I started with this top cutting, it did have this top caterpillar here, but it is starting to unfurl. It may be hard to tell, I'm a little bit shaky, so, but it is. And then there's also some little white bumps there. There's growth coming out at that node. I don't know, I haven't really paid that much attention to this one, so I'm not really sure how well it's going. And I don't see any roots through the cup, so there might not be a whole lot going on at all. We're about to find out. Moss is sticking to the cutting a little bit, so it looks like there is going to be, oh, yep. So just the teeniest little root there. Teeny little root. And yeah, I don't see anything else going on with this one, so just that top leaf that's unfurling. There we go. You can see that. So this one hasn't done a whole lot, but it is growing, so it just needs some more time. Burle Marx Fantasy aren't super fast, and I'll show you the one that I took as a mid-cutting on June 23rd here in just a second, because it took forever for it to put out its little leaf. I don't think that when I cut that one it had a leaf, but it had a leaf, but I don't think it had one in the caterpillar ready to come out. Oh, almost dropped my little baby. Burle Marx Fantasy number 2. So this one's got this top leaf here is the newest one. The older one is underneath there. It's a little bit more on the blue side. And then all that green, that's just the sphagnum moss from being in my cabinet, being in the light. Kind of like algae grows in water. the sphagnum moss will turn green after having it so long. Now this one I did not put any perlite in the bottom. This is one of the first cuttings that I took. So this is just straight sphagnum moss. I watered it last night, so it's a little moist. Ooh, come on little buddy. Oh, so I'm a little bit nervous to mess with this one anymore because the roots are so fine. So I'm just gonna leave this as is. Majority of what you're seeing here is sphagnum moss, but there are roots there, real tiny roots that the sphagnum moss is growing around. This top leaf here is the first one that came out. And then there's another leaf forming right there in that caterpillar. So this one was June 23rd, so less than 2 months ago. June, July, August. Yeah, less than 2 months ago. Sorry, I had to think about what month I'm in. So I'm gonna put that one back very carefully. If you have to absolutely positively check your cuttings, try doing it through your cups. That's one of the reasons why I use clear cups like this, is so that I can see what's going on without the need to take it out. The cups are so small that the roots kind of like grow up and down the sides of the cups and they don't really have a whole lot of places to go. So you can usually see, you know, something amiss is afoot. So if you have too much water sitting in the bottom and the roots are touching the bottom of the cup, you might see the root tips start to turn black or brown. So that may be a sign for you to like back off that watering a little bit, or either that, add more perlite to the bottom, or add perlite to the bottom if you don't already have some in there. So there's my little BMF back in his cup. This is June 23rd, so I'm gonna put him back in my cabinet. And last but not least is my Syngonium erythrophyllum, aka Syngonium elanocardii Aroid. Have very dark leaf faces, or adaxials. They're very dark and green. They can be almost black, like my glove is black, so you can definitely tell that there's a little hint of green there, but this is a very dark plant. The backs of the leaves, however, are super pretty red. Burgundy, wine colored, and it was doing really well. I got this a while ago as a plant from ATX Tropicals. It was just a little baby cutting. It had like 3 leaves on it. And I put it in my cabinet and it kind of exploded. So I decided on July 26th, I don't know if you'll be able to read that, that I am going to chop it. So I chopped it the day before I made my video. I was not really 100% sure I was going to make that video because I wasn't sure if my camera was coming, excuse me. Otherwise I would have waited. So I'm going to do this leaf first because this one looks like it's on its way out. So one thing that you need to understand if you're going to take cuttings from your plants, not all of them are going to make it. There's, you know, you might get lucky. They might all make it. They might all turn into a plant and grow. But this was the bottom leaf of the plant that I cut, one of the oldest ones. So not a whole lot of, you know, growth going on with it. It was kind of just chilling at the bottom. And pulling this one out, I had these in straight perlite, by the way. Nothing in there but just perlite. Pulling this one out, there's nodes there, like you can see the node, there's a little tiny bit of growth, but nothing to get too excited about. I'm actually pretty 100% positive that this is going to turn into nothing more than just an all brown leaf, so I'm probably just going to toss that one. And that's okay. You know, I understand that those might not all make it, so that's fine. Now this one also doesn't look like it has a whole lot going on as far as like growth at the node goes. And oh, I guess there is the teeniest tiniest little bit. Okay, so that is the node that I started with. Now that little white thing right there, that is new growth. So nothing going on that side. And it's not squishy, by the way. I know it looks brown, but it's not squishy. I touched it. It's fine. So this one probably has a chance. There's no, you know, color draining or bleaching going on with the leaf. It's still firm. It's not floppy or soft or anything like that. That's a good sign. So that one's probably gonna turn into something. So I'm just gonna stick that one right back in the perlite. And then the last cutting that I have, I did post on my Instagram because it's just so pretty, is the top cutting of the Syngonium that I took. So this one had a new leaf still, you know, kind of rolled up, but it has since started unfurling. Again, these were taken July 26th, the day before I posted the video. Oh, these are just so pretty. So here we have the, can you see that new leaf? It's so pretty. nice kind of like emerald green on the new leaf in there. And then over time it'll fade to this dark color. So this one is doing great. It actually has another new leaf kind of like down in there. I don't know if you'll be able to tell. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of like lightly. Oh, this one's doing real good. Lightly brush the perlite off. The lightest touch. Seriously, you don't want to damage anything. So I've got 2 roots. They kind of look like little hands or little wings. Little wing tips. But yep, 2 roots on that one. So that one's definitely doing fine. It's gonna make it. It'll be okay. Gorgeous. I'm gonna put that one back. This one's a little bit more complicated to put back because it's got those little tips on it. So I'm just gonna pour my perlite out into my hand so I can set it back on top in there. Should have brought a little shovel with me. Set it in there. There we go. All right. So now he's back in his little cup and roots are visible like they were before I took it out. So it makes me happy. Well, plant pals, that was today's video. So I hope that you enjoyed watching the update on these cuttings that I took. I hope that you stick around so you can see future updates on them. I probably will post another video on these maybe in like a month just to see, you know, who's last standing on them and how they've grown since, you know, the day that I took them. If you have any questions, you can please definitely reach out to me on Instagram. You can DM me. It's at Philodendreams. You can also place your comments in the comment section below if you have any feedback, questions, anything like that. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed this content. I do plan on making more videos in the future. Just a matter of getting my plants ready to do that. And I also have to work, so adult problems. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when I upload new videos. As of right now, I'm gonna try to do 1 a week, so we'll see how that goes. I am human. But yeah, I also post updates on my plants on Instagram almost every day. If you have particular plant that you want to see an update on, or if you have questions about one of my plants you want to see, let me know. I'd be happy to show you. Probably something going to come up in the future is a splendidum video, how the Anthurium splendidum is doing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that was the second video I uploaded on this channel, is the Anthurium splendidum. So her and I had a disagreement on day 2, but she's alive. Her name is Ursula. Oh, also, I named my plants. So if you have a name suggestion for one of my plants, please let me know. I'd be happy to mention you or credit you or tag you or however you prefer if I choose your name for one of my plants. Probably gonna name this one first because he's so cute and little. And he's got that little wonky leaf there. Sorry, not very good, can't see it right now, but you saw it earlier, so don't matter. But anyways, it was nice to have all of you here watching. Thank you so much for taking the time to spend on my videos. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I appreciate all my Instagram followers. I know I'm still new to Instagram, but you know, 1,000 followers is pretty awesome for when you're starting off and you're doing something like that for yourself. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You all are amazing and I love you. I heart you. I hope that you all have a great day and I will see you next time.